Good morning. Welcome to Stampin' All Day with Bev. It is almost 8:30. I'm going to start at 8:30 Pacific time here in California. So I hope you come in and join me, or you're able to watch the replay or on YouTube. Welcome all my YouTubers. Thank you for watching. Oh, what day is it? Hey, Diane. It is Wednesday. My goodness, I'm losing track of days here. Hi, Carol. Wednesday. I have a dentist appointment. Oh my goodness, at 11 o'clock. So it's just a routine checkup thing, but still going to the dentist. I'm not afraid of the dentist or anything like that. It's just a hassle to go, get ready and go. But that's about it. We've done our yard work and housework, and now I'm here with you having a good time. I hope you have a good time too. Hi, Viola. Okay, it's 8:30, so all I have to do now is turn you back down to my placemat, to my work surface, and get started. I am going to continue using Spotlight on Nature stamp set and dies. I have to tell you before I get started though, this is one of the easiest sets I've ever worked with. Oh my gosh, I guess because it's so gorgeous all on its own. Maybe because I've picked the in colors, the current new in colors to work with. I don't know, but yesterday Lori was here working, and while she was working, I said, I've got to create something for Wednesday. I got behind again. And so we were talking back and forth from her workstation to mine, and then I finished this sample that I'm going to share with you today, and she loved it, and it just came together. So let me turn you down, and we'll get started with that. All right. Hi, Vicki. Welcome. Viola agrees that this is an easy stamp set to work with, so I'm really glad. I know I'm enjoying it a lot. Again, welcome everyone to Stampin' All Day with Bev. I am your host, Beverlee Morales. It is Wednesday, June 12th, and I'm here to share with you my host code for the month of June. And remember that all bundles are an extra 10% off this month. And if you choose to order from me, here is the host code for the month of June. Where can you shop with me? Right here. It's beverleystamps.stampinup.net. Just create an account, and you can order 24/7 there, online, anytime you want. I also have a YouTube channel if you'd like to share my information with your friends who do not have Facebook or prefer YouTube. You can just tell them that my channel name is my name with Stampin' Up! Behind it, and then it'll pop up. Here is my email, mofun44@icloud.com. If you win anything from me or you need to talk to me about anything, that's where you send the information I need. I.e., if you win a card and I need your address, the best thing to do is email me at that address, your address, and then I can get your card off to you. Speaking of cards, this is the card that I made on Sunday night using Spotlight in Nature, and you guys all seem to enjoy it a lot. I see on YouTube that everybody was loving the ruffle ribbon technique, and so I was very happy to see that you guys all like that a lot. All right, let's see who won this card. Mary Jo Vasti. Mary Jo, please email me your address. Let me show that email address one more time. You love the Spotlight on Nature set, Vicki. I know, it is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Here you go, Mary Jo. mofun44@icloud.com, and I will get this to you. You move it off to the side. Move my stamps over here where I can reach them easily. All right. So here's my basket of goodies. I'm going to be doing a little bit of embossing today. So I have my kit, which is the brush, the reverse tweezers, the embossing buddy, and the tray, and also gold embossing powder. I will give you a list of all the item numbers at the end of this video, but they are also listed on my product. Here is the bundle. Spotlight on Nature. There is the bundle number right there. I'm going to be using Dear Friend and the tulips today. And let me show you again, just in case you don't have this set yet, the dies, the Spotlight, all the nature in this set. Today I'm using these two dies right here. So they're out on my magnetic bowl already. Okay. I'm using Versamark ink since I am going to be embossing in gold. I'm using up these 2022 in color enamel dots since they work so well. These are retired, but you can get the current in color enamel dots, and they'll work perfectly with this designer series paper that I'm choosing to use. Hi, Debbie. As well, we're adding our paper butterfly accents. If you don't have these yet, you really, really, really need to add them to your next order. It's just a lot of different butterflies in white that they're laser cut, they're beautiful. Just punch them out and use them as an accent on your cards, and it's gorgeous. And then again, the 2426 in color 6x6 designer series paper, item 163777. I don't know if I gave you the butterfly ones. It's 162612. All right. So let me get this all back in my little basket so I can show you the card with a clean slate. What do you think? Hi, Debbie. Another Debbie. Two Debbies here today. Oh, you know what I forgot to put on here? Darn it. Oh, well. I used the gold trim that comes with gold and silver. There is the code 161633, and I forgot to add that to my basket and to my list of items. Carol, you think it's beautiful. Viola thinks it's really cute. All right, so the other thing I forgot to mention. Okay, I'm going to forget to mention things today, it looks like. I use the Simply Score tool. So let me get that out. It's a big tool. I have to find space to place it here. So I hope you love this card like I do. Let's get started. Can you see all the detail? There, that's a good angle right there. Vicki Love says it's a lovely card. Okay, so here is the butterfly that I'm using. And I'm going to put a piece of regular printer paper down so when I go to emboss, I don't mess up my whole grid paper pad here. It's a nice clean one. So I'll save that. I'm using 2 pieces of the designer series paper, which I just showed you. So here they are for the dies. I have a regular 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock cut in half for the base. So this is what everybody has labeled a Bev card. It's the white, hey Mary Jo, the white card that is my absolute style. I have a 4, hi Florence, I have a 4 by 5 1/4 layer piece, and it's already embossed, dry embossed with the Simply Score tool, that technique that I love so much. So that is going to be placed there like that. Then I have a 3 and, let's see. Here, write it down somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, 3 5/16 by 3 5/16 piece of gold paper. and then a 3x3 piece of white for my focal point, and this is also going to get dry embossed with the Simply Score tool. I just did this one in advance so you wouldn't have to watch me do it twice, and you'll know how to do it when I do this one. Okay, so I said we're going to start with the embossing. That means I need that stamp, my tray full of goodies, and here we go. All right, I'm going to take my Versamark ink, and I'm going to go direct to paper, right to this butterfly, and I'm just going to pounce Versamark ink onto the accent butterfly. Trying to get full coverage there. Now, the paper I just used to protect my grid paper has now got ink on it, so I'm going to fold that over so I have a dry background to dump my powder on. I'm going to show you this. Normally, I would empty out my tray and dump everything in here and then open up the spout and put everything back in the bottle. But if you don't have the tray yet, if you're a beginner and you're going to just start embossing, you can do this until you get the tray kit, till you get the embossing kit. Shake that off, and there we go. Now the second thing you're going to want to do is, hi Tracy, you're going to want to save all of this embossing powder back into your little container. So that paper will help you do that as well. I have minimal residue right here. Now I need, bring this back. Try not to touch that because it's still vulnerable to smear because I haven't heated it up yet. But I need to get some scrap paper. Looking for one of my boxes with scraps in it. Here's one. And again, I'm going to stamp my sentiment with the Versamark ink. And it says, "Dear friend." I'm tapping the Versamark onto the rubber stamp. Good morning, Vera. Welcome. I hope you're having fun with that little granddaughter of yours. I know you are. Okay, so I'm going to stamp "Dear friend." And then I'm going to lift and do the same thing that I just did to the butterfly. And there is my dear friend in gold. Put my powder back into the bottle, put the lid on to avoid an accident that would just be disastrous. And then I'm going to take my reverse tweezers, and let's get the butterfly out of the way so it doesn't fly away on me. I'm going to hold down my dear friend, and I'm going to turn on my heat tool, which is also on page 126 if you want one of these in the new annual catalog. I'm going to point down at my sentiment, and I am just going to grab it like this. I'm just going to wait until I see the embossing magic happen. There it goes. Do you see it turning very, it's lifted and it's smooth. See that? All right, so everything is now shiny. That's what I'm looking for, the shine and the lift. Once you see everything lifted and shiny, you can turn it back and forth in your lighting so you make sure you see it. If it's not shiny, it's not finished, it's not embossed yet, so you need to keep embossing until you don't see this dull, gritty looking gold. See this, how fast that went? That went really fast because my heat tool is already hot now from the first embossing I did. So this is happening really quick. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to look turn off my heat tool. I'm going to look to see that I don't see anything dull. I see everything shiny in every spot, and that means it's done. All right, I've got some residue here on my placemat, so I'm going to blow that off, and we're done with my embossing. I'm going to give that a minute to cool. Now your embossing tool, hi Sabrina, your heat tool is really, really, really hot. So that's why we have the reverse tweezers, so you can hold on to things and not burn yourself. Now I'm taking my paper snips. Paper snips are a staple. If you're going to craft, you need snips. And I am just going to move my paper as I cut. See how I'm moving the paper, and my scissors are simply opening and closing. That's all they do. Open and close, open and close. The paper is what I move. When I move the paper, it allows me to get a very detailed cut there that looks very professional and nice. So if you do not already cut in that manner, try it. It might take a little practice if you're not used to doing that, but you'll get it. It's not hard. It's just, remember, move my paper and open and close my scissors. That allows you to get in all these little spaces. Hi, Roseanne. Did I miss somebody? I love the idea of embossing the butterfly. Good, Vicki. Yeah, you can emboss those butterflies. You can ink them up. You can cut them out of designer series paper and have a pattern butterfly. Oh, I'm sorry, not these. These are you can't do that with these. These are the packet of butterflies. You can color them with colored pencils, multicolor, direct to paper, your watercolor, your water painters, whatever you want to do. Embossing is really, really cool. Now I'm going to see. Okay, look at the back. That made me think. And this made me think yesterday. Look at the back of this butterfly. There is some embossing on there, but a lot of white still. So that gave me a moment for thought. A monarch butterfly has many colors in it, and I was thinking if I used a marker or a paintbrush and colored over those white spaces on the back, I wonder what that would look like. I haven't done it yet, but I'm having a feeling that it's going to be gorgeous, so we need to try that. If you have those butterflies and you emboss one side, see what happens by coloring the other side and see if you like it or not. Another whole technique. That was just an accident. I don't know what happened. My butterfly turned over or something. I said, hey, wait, that's kind of pretty. Okay, so now I have, dear friend, really small, really dainty, and will fit anywhere on your card. And on this card, I have it right here. Okay, so that part's done. Let's get our cut and emboss machine over here. And my two dies that I'm using. I'm not going to cut this 6x6 down, so I'll do one at a time. If I would have cut it down in advance, I could have done them both at once. But since I didn't, here goes number one. This is the larger of the two circles. And look at that pretty floral trim all the way around. So gorgeous. Okay, and then this is the leftover from the first time I made this card, and I'm using the stripes and then the smaller circle that fits right inside the one I just used. Line everything up and cut away. So dots and slashes, dots and slashes. Isn't that adorable? That's what that one does. Now look how pretty they look when they're layered. So gorgeous. Okay, so that's how I started this card. I just cut out 2 circles out of designer series paper that we've been working with, layered them on top of each other, and that was my focal point base. And that is how this whole card was born. So let's use our take your pick tool and poke out the little pieces that did not fall out. Looks like there's just a few on this one. And they all came out. Nope, there's a couple right there. That I need to punch out on this one. Okay. So, like I said, when we layer these together, the designer series paper and the colors are just beautiful together. Now notice I have a stripe here. And notice I have stripes for the base. So we want to stamp. Yes, I'm going to stamp on designer series paper with the pretty and pink color. So it's going to be very subtle. But when you see the card in person, if the camera doesn't pick it up that well, you'll notice how pretty that is with the subtle look and the stripe background. So I've got my pretty and pink new in color ink pad. I turn my stamp upside down because it's large, and I put the pad to the rubber. Okay, now I'm going to turn the stamp over the block, and I'm going to pick 2 parts of the tulip that I want to show on my card, and I'm going to make sure that my stripes are straight up and down. All right, and then press. This is a pretty big block, so I'm going to press with the whole palms of my hand to get a good image onto this gorgeous striped paper. Look at that. Do you agree that that's just gorgeous? And it's color on color. No coloring in. Done. Fantastic. Okay. So now I can take my other staple. We know what that is. That is our adhesive that I choose to use all the time. It's Tombow liquid glue. And I'm just going to place it on the back of the pink side. And this is the important part. Line up your circle straight. And because the stripes are important to be vertical, pay attention that you glue them down straight. Okay. Now let's take this gorgeous butterfly and set it right there. This is exactly how I built this card. You decide where you want your butterfly, and I'm only going to put some glue on his body. I know I love those dies too, Roseanne. And I'm going to put some glue on the sentiment, dear friend. So this card can be for any occasion whatsoever because it just says, dear friend. And then on the inside, you can stamp whatever it is that fits the occasion you're sending. Okay, so I want my stripes straight again, and then I decide on my placement of the butterfly. Now the butterfly can go off the circles, remember, because this is just the center focal point. Because I let that glue set up, it's there, it's down. I could still move it if I wanted to, but it's not going to slip around on me. Same with this, because I let it set up a minute. Thanks, Viola. Now, the dear friend. On the flower, you see the stems and the leaves, of course, so it gives you a little bit of a void where you can put the sentiment right involved in between the tulip and the leaves. Now, stripes have to be straight again, Bev. So when you make this card, I want you to concentrate on the stripes. Okay, so there is a pretty, pretty focal point for you that you could add to anything, right? Well, let's make it a little prettier still. This is where the Simply Score tool comes in. If you don't have this tool yet, I have told you over and over and over, it's my favorite tool. I love it. This is one of my favorite techniques. I think that it dresses up every single card that I've made with it. It comes with a stylus tool, which has a fine point ball and a large ball. On the other end, I use the large ball. It just makes a bigger, deeper stripe. And I place the ball into the grooves at the top and then push down and pull. And I just do that across the paper. Now I'm doing it vertical. You could also, after I'm done with the vertical, I could also turn it the other direction and do it horizontal and have a checkerboard, small checks. You could skip these quarter or I think 1/8 inch lines and make them bigger. You can do every half-inch line, whatever you want to do. It's very, very flexible, and you can use it in any manner that you choose. You can just emboss part of your paper and then stamp a sentiment right there. Isn't that cute? Put ribbon right here, and your sentiment right there is smooth for stamping. If you move it, you can put it right back. It's so easy to use. Now see here, I skipped so you could see a larger space in there. There's just so many things, and then you go back and you fill in that space, and you're back to your first actual measurements. It just takes a minute. If you want to simply score a whole sheet of cardstock and then cut it up at a later date to the sizes you need, that would be awesome to have. Okay, so I'm gonna put my stylus back into the tool. It has a little pocket for the tool, so you don't lose it. And the stripes on the designer series paper and the stripes that I just made on the basic white cardstock, hi Olive, ties everything in together, right? Do you agree? You get a thumbs up. It would still be pretty on basic white cardstock if you don't have the Simply Score tool yet, but if you do, use it. Oh yes, you guys agree, lots of hearts, yay. All right, so now let's concentrate. Stripes even up and down. So I'm talking about the stripes in the DSP and the stripes that I just made. Everything is looking sharp. All right, we can turn this over, press, and everything is nice and secure. Then I stared at it and I said, that's beautiful. Look at that stamping. But I need a little bit more glam. So that's where the 3 5/16. Yes. So an 1/8 over the 3.5 by 3.5. So you have this gold trim all around. Now, did you look at the difference? So let's get the card. See how that would look? But with just a little bit of gold. Look at the difference. Now, if you don't like to have, oh my goodness, that's a big piece of foil paper, and all I'm seeing is a tiny little edge, you could actually take one of your dies. I wouldn't take that one. It's a little bit too big, but a smaller one. There you go. Cut that out, and then you'll still have your trim, but you'll have a gold circle that you could use on something else if you don't want to waste something that you're not going to see anyway. You would have a hole back here, but you're not going to see it. Okay, so let's put glue down on here. Everything straight. Hi, Stephanie. And set this down even with a gold frame all the way around. Beautiful focal point, right? All right, now let's look at the card again. You see ribbon. So what is the rule? When you see ribbon, you have to think, careful, don't put it down onto the card base until we get the ribbon on it. Otherwise, things become just a little more challenging to add the ribbon. Let's put this 4 by 5 1/4 piece down onto the card base. And again, I'm just framing the striped basic white onto the plain basic white card base. All right. Then our mini glue dots. And our gold trim, which comes also, if you purchase this, it also comes with the silver. So you get both with this code number 161633. I forgot to put it on the list. Okay, so there is a mini glue dot there. So I'm going to come to the back of my card and the end of my card. And I'm going to go across. And then I'm going to use my paper snips again. Actually, I'm going to use my ribbon snips. So ribbon snips and paper snips are the same thing, except I put ribbon around the end, the handle of my ribbon scissors, so everybody knows, including me, only use these on ribbon. Don't use them on paper, so they stay sharp. All right, another mini glue dot. Hold that even in place with the bottom of the card and flip it around. See how easy that is if you don't have it attached to the card yet? Okay, so I looked at it at this point and thought it needs a little something, something still. So that's when we went to the enamel dots. And I take your pick tool, and we have 3 in a row, right? We want 3 in a row, so we start with the middle. Place 1 on one side. Take my 3rd and place on the other side. And if you follow that rule of starting in the middle whenever you're working horizontal, you will be getting everything even. Okay, let's see. Good morning. Love it. Looking forward to ordering this when it comes back into stock. Yes, the week of the 24th. Do not hesitate. All right, so we're going to take another piece of ribbon, and I'm just going to make a bow. I'm going to leave the ribbon on the spool so I don't use more than I actually need. Just play with it until you get it basically the way you want it. Back to your ribbon scissors. Angle cut for a finished look. I take the end of the loops, I want that a little bit smaller and straight, and I pounce to get them round. See how I flatten that one? I want to make it more round. So now that I pulled on the legs a little bit, I'm going to retrim them and go to how many mini glue dots for ribbon? This is a thin trim, but I'm still going to use 2 just so I don't worry that it does come off the card. With 2 mini glue dots, I'm positive it will not. And I'm going to press hard right where the mini glue dots are there, underneath there, with my take your pick tool. And back to my glue. Now see what that stickiness that happened? It happened because I was not working on my silicone mat, and I got one of the mini glue dots a little lower than I should have. So silicone mat saves the day always. Get in the habit of using that. Okay. All right, see how easy it came off of there? So let's turn that over. Add our liquid glue. Now, was this card not simple? Very simple. The hard part for most, is the design. Well, you don't have to worry about that. All you need to do is come back every Sunday night at 7 and every Wednesday morning at 8:30 a.m., and that's all Pacific time. I'm in California. And watch me create. And then you can copy. Copy is a form of, as a compliment. I am complimented that you copy my ideas. The only thing I ask is that you let people know where you got the idea from. 99.9% of the time, my cards are original designs by me. I don't copy very often, just because I'm afraid that I might lose my creativity if I don't keep using it. So I try to design original designs and layouts on my own. So there it is. Notice, because the butterfly's body is the only thing that's glued down, I can bend the butterfly up. So we have a little more dimension on this card. And there you go. You can stamp the inside with whatever you'd like, or just leave it blank and sign or write your message to your friend, to your dear friend. All right, let me know what you think. Thanks for being here. I'm off to the dentist. Thank you for all the hearts. Now, see, I have to get in the habit of showing you the list. Here's the list for a snapshot, and I do remember that I didn't get everything on here. The in color pretty in pink stamp pad, there's the code. It's not on here. And then I did want to let you know that the in color family pack, so one of each color of the new in colors, is back on the 24th as well. And here's your Simply Score tool, your paper butterfly accents, your gold metallic embossing powder. It's a pack of 3. And you take your pick tool, your designer series paper, and your bundle, which will be an extra 10% off if you get it on the week of the 24th. And I think your embossing toolkit, here's the number for that. All right, ladies. Thank you, Olive. Oh, City Park, Utah. Oh, fun. All right, let's see. What did I miss? Very elegant. Good luck at the dentist. Oh, it's just my annual, or not my annual, my cleaning every 6 months. I will be ordering that on the 24th. Oh, Vera, you're going to love it. It's a great place to start because it's so simple to use. All right, ladies, take care. Bye-bye.